Alrighty, hello, welcome back to Very Yellow Flat. This week I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So this is going to be talking about character personality types and how to write different characters who don't all look the same on the page. Now, in this video I will be looking at the Myers Briggs personality type, and you have to understand that this doesn't cover everything. It is not a catch-all for every possible personality out there. It does give you a lot of very different, very interesting varieties and ways that you can talk about different characters and how someone might interact with someone else, or how someone might interact in a certain situation. So what you can do if you're writing a character and you're trying to get a different variety from what you normally would have, is you can go through and you can take a Myers Briggs personality test as that character. So I did that for Victoria, my main character from Cat's Paw, and I found out some really interesting things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that test with you and talk all about how Victoria would interact in certain situations and how I use this test to help me write her reactions and move the character along in a more interesting manner than just, learns how to use magic or becomes smarter. But this is more of a how my character can grow and develop in this story, in this situation, with all of these problems and horrible things that are happening to her. So without further ado, on to the Myers Briggs personality test. Alrighty, so I'm here on 16personalitytypes.com. This is just one of those free personality test type places. You can go and take this on many different websites. But what you're going to do is you're going to go take this test as your character. So some of these were pretty easy. Some of these were not so much. It's a hard time differentiating them between myself and between Victoria. So Victoria is definitely kind of a more, well, she's an interesting individual. She's a werecat, so she's got cat-like personalities, which is to say she feels a bit superior to everyone else, and things are going to turn out how she dictates them, because that's just how the world works. So answering these questions to add that into the normal human personality of, oh gosh, I feel just ever so slightly awkward with other people, but I'm still good, and whatnot. That was a bit difficult. So like the you do not mind being at the center of attention thing, that was absolutely cat-like, but for human Victoria, she might be a bit off, so we'll see. Some of them are obviously introvert extrovert questions, and others are how much you plan, how much you think ahead, and how much you don't, how much you kind of take things as they come. So, and some of these for my character I don't actually know. I had to kind of make it up because I don't, as a pantser, I tend not to do full-on character profiles. I just find this an interesting exercise to kind of expand on my character as I'm doing it. So some of these I didn't know, some of these I did, but this is definitely a great tool that you can use to make your character more in-depth, and use it if you're like, I have no idea what Victoria would do in this situation. Then you can definitely look at this and say, okay, it's likely that this is going to happen or that's going to happen. Once you go through the test, then you can read the answers, and for me this was very interesting because I, as an INTJ, kind of expected that would show up in this, but I guess it really didn't at all. It was kind of surprising, but very useful because it fits Victoria to a T. It really does. At least I think so. So an ENTP-A, so debater type, which, oh, absolutely. She argues with everything. She is definitely intuitive, and she thinks a lot about things, but she's way absolutely assertive. If she thinks she's right, that's just the end of it. And she might listen to you if you present a decent argument, but otherwise, not so much. At least this website is nice. I like it because it gives you a lot of insights into the personality type. And you can talk about things like over on the side there, the strengths and weaknesses, romantic relationships, friendships, parenthood. This is all talks about very important aspects of this personality. So these are some, interesting people that are also of this type, and so you can kind of take those personalities, those types of other characters and other people, and put that with your own character and say, okay, if this person were in this situation, what would they do? Lots of resources that you can use. So it's just an exercise, just a tool to use to expand your character, to figure out what they would do in certain situations, and it's great fun. I like going through and doing these tests. Alright, so that's what I've got for you guys this week. I hope this was useful and giving you ideas on how you can possibly go about and use this test to create interesting character types. Now you have to understand this doesn't cover everything. Again, there are huge amounts of character types that don't fit into this category. There are psychological disorders that you can have that wouldn't necessarily follow one of these categories. So this is a tool for you to use to expand upon and change and use as a guideline for you to make an interesting, for you to make your characters more interesting and more realistic. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys next time.